Hi, I'm Christopher Ingram, and welcome to the Pulse of Tampa Bay. Actually, there's a story behind that we're going to get to, and I am so excited to have my co-host here with me, Ms. Sarina Fazan.
Oh my gosh, Christopher, I feel like I'm in the midst of greatness, though. I have watched you, read so many things that you have done, your personal stories that you've shared, so it's an honor to sit here with you.
Well, thank you, and I'm honored to have you here as well, because you are just a legend here in the Tampa Bay market, and I have to tell the story about how you ended up here, literally like yesterday. So I had someone else, and they just couldn't work it into their schedule, and I was meeting with our mutual friend, Bridget Bello, who's the publisher of Tampa Bay Business and Wealth, and I was telling her about what had happened with my other co-host, and she said, "Oh, well, you should call Sarina Fazan." And I said, "That would be awesome." And so she put us in connection together. Like our paths have crossed.
Yes,
and we're
of
friends
course.
on Facebook
Yes.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
She sent a joint text and you immediately replied, and then I called you, and here we are today.
Oh my gosh, I mean, it is absolutely incredible. And I always say, you know, my favorite word is serendipity, serendipitous, happy accident. I mean, the fact that it all came together is just absolutely incredible.
The stars were aligned.
Yes, and I have got to tell you, when I walked in here, wow, what a beautiful set you've created.
Well, I can't take all the credit for it. I can take credit for very little, actually. But I bought the studio from our friend Topher Morrison, and he put all this together. And we just fine-tuned it a little bit. But thank you. It is a beautiful set. I'm so glad to have you here as a part of it.
Oh, well, thank you so much. No, honestly, it means the world.
And I didn't know, but so you're a little bit of a troublemaker, aren't you?
What do you mean?
Like, I'm not the only troublemaker on this studio set, right? So we had this Pulse of Tampa Bay concept to do a very Tampa Bay-centric show, kind of a variety show covering news, sports, politics, entertainment, people on the move, foundational work, charities, highlighting and spotlighting different groups and whatnot. And Pulse of Tampa Bay. And you came into our pre-production meeting today, and we've upended that now.
Yes,
so tell us what you did.
Okay, and honestly, and we want your feedback, right, guys? We want your feedback on this. So, and it was difficult to do, but I always say constructive criticism, I always welcome it. And I'm very sensitive.
Give it also.
I'm sensitive, and it was the Pulse nightclub, in all seriousness, was such a huge tragedy.
Massacre in Orlando.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, so many deaths, so many people injured, so many people still affected. And from my journalistic background, because I came from traditional TV such as you, a lot of times when people hear the word Pulse, they think about that incident. So I brought it up. We had a wonderful discussion with the team about it, and we decided to change the name.
Tell us what we're going to change it to.
We're going to change, and I have to say, I love this name, the Heartbeat.
Heartbeat of Tampa Bay.
I love that.
Yeah, it's cool. And we can basically keep the same logo. Maybe we'll throw a little heart in there. And cool. Well, I think it's great. And I'm with you. Like, let's have constructive criticism. And so many people in our society today are just so averse to taking any kind of criticism. And if they do, they get so angry.
Absolutely. I mean, I see that all the time. Like, okay, even like on the roadways, right? I mean, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah.
That's a whole other show we need to have. But everybody's so sensitive about everything. You're afraid sometimes to say anything or do anything. But I think, especially with colleagues, and we're creating something so special, why not have great conversations?
And it's a team effort, right?
Right. There's no I in team.
No, there's no I in team, right? I remember that from college days. The football team always had that. There's no I in team, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic. Well, I'm serious. I'm super excited. This is going to be so much fun. And, it's kind of a work in progress, right? We're going to just develop this, and based on viewer response and things that we hear, we'll kind of fine-tune it and make it into something that people just want to tune into every single day.
Absolutely, and we love hearing from people, right? So please, share what you want to hear. We're on social media, we're everywhere, so it'll be great to get the heartbeat of Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Now, you want a green heart or a red heart in there?
Well, okay, so that's a great. Okay, so we already discussed the heartbeat, which is awesome. I love, of course, every color of heart, but it's kind of crazy. My signature happens to be the green heart because of the green eyes.
Right.
And I didn't even come up with that. Someone else came up with
that's
that.
cool.
So I use the green heart everywhere.
That's cool. That's cool. All right. Well, we'll see. I don't know if green will look good on there with the blue, but we'll see. We will collaborate for sure. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some issues, right? And this program is going to be mostly focused on Tampa-centric things, but also when there are big things going on in the world or nationally or in the state of Florida. We'll talk about those things from time to time, and I will try to be as objective as I can, and keep my opinions to myself, and maybe from time to time we'll veer into just this is my opinion kind of thing.
But Christopher, your strength though is honestly also you have many strengths, right? But politics is such a cornerstone of you, and your opinions as well. So I'm looking forward to Ingram's insights.
All right, well, cool. Well,
Definitely.
And I'll try to put my calm and nice Chris hat on. I'm a changed man since June 10th. All right, so the White House is undergoing a multi-million-dollar renovation that is under the direction of President Trump. And I've been seeing in the news and following on social media, a lot of people are upset about this. And I think that most of the criticism is coming from people who just don't like Trump, right? He could cure cancer tomorrow and they would find a reason to be pissed off at him about it. So they're saying, this is a waste of money. Well, it's all coming from, contributions from the private sector and whatnot. And he's going to put a big, beautiful ballroom into the White House. They're going to build this, and they torn down a part of the White House to do so. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I have to say, so coming from traditional news, I'm a registered independent, right? So but politics right now is so polarizing, and I agree with you. I feel that maybe it's because of the candidate, or maybe it's because of who the president is. Because if you look back at history, how many administrations have reconstructed something in the White House? In fact, I know this sounds so crazy. Right now, I'm rewatching Scandal. Like, I watched Scandal years ago. And in fact, the episode I'm watching is Changing the China. Changing the China.
Yeah,
and
the formal China.
Yeah. So,
Nancy Reagan did it.
Yes, exactly. So I feel like dollars are being spent on many things. I mean, we help countries overseas. We do so much. This is just part of the process, and I do think there is too much criticism being placed on it. In my humble opinion, I will say that.
Well, it'll be cool, and of course, Donald Trump will say it's going to be huge. Okay, politics at the state level here in Florida. There is talk in the legislature that they may be proposing a bill that would make school board elections in the state of Florida, not school board, superintendent of schools, elected as opposed to appointed. Currently, all superintendents in all 67 counties in Florida are appointed by the school board of their county, and the legislature is saying, no, it needs to be an appointed position. An elected position. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I think this is, you have 3 children, I have a daughter as well. I mean, whenever kids especially are involved, it's, very sensitive. And there's been a lot of controversy, too, with the judges. Like, judges oftentimes are elected.
Right.
So I don't know, Chris. I mean, that's a tough one for me. Like, I feel when someone's elected, of course, there's money involved, campaign dollars, favoritism, whatever you want to call it. So I don't know. This is something I'd really have to think deeply on, because especially when it comes to kids.
Yeah.
Like you want like unbiased people in there, don't you think? And especially the way
and not having to worry about running for election and appealing to 50+% of the voters, as opposed to just doing the right thing for children.
Yes, because I think there's already so much that
highly politicized
right now, and everything that's it's so sad looking at when we grew up. We would just go to school,
right?
But now, okay, our kids go to school. Look, it gives me goosebumps. Our kids go to school. They have to take active shooter training. Yeah. They have to do this. They have to do this.
That's crazy.
So then to add something like this on, where I just worry it's going to affect kids more.
I think you're right. I'm not sure. Like, this just came up. I mean, it's been talked about in the past, but I'm not sure how I come down on it. I think that there are certainly some positive elements to making an elected official as opposed to appointed by the school board, because it does hold them in a sense a little bit more accountable. Whereas right now they're only accountable to the, like the 7 members of each county school board. And I mean, there's politics involved in that too.
Yes.
But, to add the extra element of this person now has to go and run for re-election and really focus on, because most of the time elected officials, they get the job and they want to keep it, right? Because it's usually pretty cushy and pays pretty well. I just don't know if that's the right thing to do. So I'm a little mixed on that one right now.
Yeah, I'm mixed too.
I think it's kind of a power play, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Don't tell my Republican friends in the legislature, but I think that's what it is. Okay, let's move off of politics. How about sports? Did you watch the Monday Night Football game? The Bucks lost to the Lions.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I have to say, of course, I'm a 100% Buccaneer fan, but I love Dan Campbell. I just think he's such a cool guy. I just think he's so cool. But what a game! And Mike Evans. Can we talk about Mike Evans?
Yeah, let's talk about Mike, because that was not a good injury.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
And he's like one of their star player.
I know.
One of the 2 or 3 big players.
Well, at the beginning, so we knew at the beginning that there was some hesitation that he would even play because of his hamstring injury. And then he goes in, and that unbelievable catch he made with his one hand, but they,
Negated.
Yeah.
Negated, yeah.
But oh my gosh, when he was hurt, I knew it wasn't the hamstring. I knew it was something else.
Yeah.
And now we know it's a collarbone.
Yeah.
And you can relate.
Yeah, I can relate. I actually broke my collarbone, 4 ribs, and had a partially collapsed lung about 8 years ago from a bicycle accident. Pedal your bicycle. I was pedaling with my dog, which I highly do not recommend. And I got in an accident and broke that, and it was super painful. And it took a long time to recover. I didn't have any surgery. The collarbone grew back incorrectly, like it grew on top of itself as opposed to connecting itself.
And you can see it.
Yeah, you can
actually
see it on my shoulder here if you look really hard. And it was really, really painful. I slept in a chair. I rented one of those old man chairs that lifts you up. And I slept in that for almost 2 months because if I got in bed, I couldn't get out of bed.
Oh my God.
So I feel for Mike, and that he's going to be suffering a lot of pain. And of course, it's a big loss for the Bucks because he's their star guy, and But
let me ask you though. Let me ask you this. Coming from your area of expertise too in sports, they're talking about that. They say he would be ready, potentially, Mike Evans, for the playoffs. But with that type of injury, what do you think?
I would be surprised. I mean, obviously, I'm not a doctor, but I play one on TV. No, I'm not, and I don't know. I just know from my own experience.
Yeah.
I don't see that healing in time to be back for the playoffs. But, he's probably got a better doctor than mine. Maybe his won't grow back funny like mine did either. And, knock on wood, hopefully it all turns out well, and we'd love to have him back in the playoffs. But I don't see that happening.
Yeah. I mean, of course, we wish him well, and we wish him the speediest recovery possible.
Yeah.
But just realistically looking, and even from your personal experience, it's a long road ahead.
Your clavicle, I was told by my ortho, that your clavicle is your weakest bone in your body.
Wow.
Yeah. And so to have it injured and then recover to extent that he's going to be able to go back and get hit again, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Okay, let's move on to a different subject. Dating. You and I are both divorced.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I think you're seeing someone right now. I am currently single.
Oh, you are?
I
Oh my
am.
gosh, I've set up 9 couples that have gotten married. I have set seriously, and I think it's more than that.
Yeah?
I am in love with love.
You're in love with love.
I'm in
All right.
I'm in love with love.
Tell me about
yes,
it.
I'm in love with love. I love setting people up. I love a matchmaker. So maybe, the right one out there.
All right, we'll
is
see.
watching.
So how long have you've been divorced for a number of years?
Yeah, since I have an 18-year-old daughter, and so when she was 10, and for anybody, I will say this, and it's honestly, this is the first time I've ever talked about my personal life.
Oh, is that
ever.
right?
Yeah, but I'll talk about it with you. Honestly, it's the first time I've ever talked about it, and people always wondered, because I had a couple of shows about dating and love, but I've never talked about my life. No matter what, I think anybody going through divorce, even if you both agree on it, or even if and that's really kind of rare, even if you do.
An amicable divorce is rare, yeah.
It's a very painful process. I was fortunate that her dad is a class act, and we just grew apart. I think my career was part of it,
Right.
The hours.
It was hard.
But it's tough. How about for you?
My divorce is amicable, and I've been divorced for it'll be 6 years in January. And I've done the dating thing, online dating. I met a few people organically, and just got some stories. One of the more recent dates that I had was actually a second date with a woman, and we went bike riding, and we took the dogs for a walk, and then in between the bike riding and the walking the dog, it was about 8:30 at night, and I kid you not, I was actually putting air in the bicycle, pumping the bike tires with air to go on the bike ride after the dog walk, and 8:30 at night in her garage doing that, and she pulls out a weed trimmer. Not a weed trimmer, a hedge trimmer, and starts trimming the hedges on the front of her house at 8:30 at night. It's like pitch black dark out. And I finished pumping the air in the bike tires in like 5 seconds and was done. And I just stood there and watched her trim hedges for about 20 minutes. It was a little bizarre.
Yeah, that is. There's so many crazy dating stories that I've heard. And there's also, so there's a stat out, and I have not confirmed, the stat, but a stat out that this area is the worst area to find your mate.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay
area.
And I think it could be a couple things.
Okay, what's your theory?
One, it is really, it's beautiful here, right? So I think so many people here are focused a lot on being outside, being in great shape. And so I think that could be one. Okay. There's, we have a lot of visitors here too. I don't know if that has really anything to do with it, but you always feel like you're on vacation here.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Right?
Walk outside.
Yeah. And so when you feel you're on vacation, maybe some people
have higher standards.
Well, higher standards or looser. I don't mean to say looser.
It is a PG show.
I don't mean to allude that, but I'm just saying that. Like how you're more carefree and
I can see that.
on vacations. Yeah. I mean, again, when I saw that stat and it was just from one source, I got to look at different sources.
Interesting. So, have you had any crazy dating experiences?
No, but I've got to say, so this is so crazy. This is so crazy though. I did not date anybody. Nobody. Zip. I mean, a few dates here and there. My so I had a dating show, as I shared. Right. My daughter and her friends put me on a dating app. I about died. I was so
You didn't know
mad.
about it?
Oh, I didn't know. Then all of a sudden my phone started dinging, dinging, dinging. I'm like, I'm like, what's going on? I was honestly going to
kill them.
Yes. And so Sammy is not demonstrative. I'm a very demonstrative person. My daughter's not demonstrative. So I go home and I'm trying to be calm. And she looked at me. She calls me Mamo, because I couldn't handle going from mommy to mom. I'm like, you got to give me something. Yeah, Mamo.
Right, got you.
So she said, Mamo, you said that you would do anything for me. And I said, I did say that. And she said, I'm asking you to date.
Aw.
Isn't that the
How old was she when she said this?
Oh, my God, 14.
Really?
And then they not only put me on the app, they swiped or whatever you do.
No way. And hooked you up with people?
The first person I went on the date with is the person I'm with
That's
today.
your boyfriend?
Yeah.
No kidding. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Isn't that something?
Wow. And how old was she when this swipe happened? 14?
She was 14, and now she's 18.
Okay. So you've been dating the same guy for about 4 years?
Yeah.
Awesome.
And he is definitely my soulmate. I mean,
cool.
Isn't he? I mean, isn't that something? And,
yeah.
And I have to say, is for because sometimes, as you know, when you first get married, if you're younger, it doesn't matter age, but there may not be children involved. There may not be,
Which changes things.
Yeah, which changes things. And so I have to say, Sammy and her friends were so cognizant of her. They kept everything very, very quiet. Just not to hurt.
Yeah.
And there's dynamics which, out of respect to his family, I won't get into. But but can you believe it? So sometimes, I mean, it's the strangest thing, guys. You never know.
That is crazy that your daughter did, under the cover of darkness, set you up on a dating app and then found your soulmate.
Can you believe? I mean,
that's
honestly.
crazy. She should start a dating site, right? Or a matchmaker service. That is pretty random.
Right.
I mean, I've heard some random stories, but that probably pretty much takes the cake. Well, that's cool. I'm super happy for you.
Thank you.
That's great.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll talk more about crazy dating stories because there are bountiful.
So many.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh, there's so many. Yeah.
All right. Something that's important to you, important to me. Wounded Warriors, they have a strong presence here in the Tampa Bay area. Tell us a little about what they've got going on
Absolutely, Chris. So and you and I like to share incredible stories from inspiring people, and part of that, we have such a great community in the Tampa Bay area. There are so many great nonprofits. So the Wounded Warriors in Action really helps veterans and Purple Heart recipients, which there's so many organizations that help the veterans, which
Right.
I'm very passionate about. They've sacrificed so much.
Absolutely.
I mean, but this organization really focuses on, recipients of the Purple Heart. And what's so interesting, though, in our area alone, Hillsborough and Pinellas County, we have the largest population of veterans in the entire state.
Is that right?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
In the entire state.
Well, it makes sense. I mean,
Yes.
with the McDill and everything.
And so knowing about them, there's another gentleman I met. His name is John Papa, and he's creating a major motion picture called The Purple Heart.
Really?
Yeah, isn't that so neat? Huh. And it's based here in Sarasota.
Okay.
And where a Purple Heart washes up on shore.
Like one of the medals?
Yes.
Okay.
After a hurricane.
Okay.
And the person who receives the Purple Heart, or finds the Purple Heart, seeks the owner of the Purple Heart. And look, it's giving me goosebumps.
Right.
Apparently in the movie, the storyline comes together. So they're just beginning to tape the movie.
Is it based on a true story?
It's not based on a true story, but he said to me that, and he never even served the country, No, and I don't mean that, but he said it was the craziest thing. He felt that he got a message, like basically a message that he needed to do this movie.
That's really cool.
Yeah, isn't that neat?
Yeah. So have they started filming yet?
They're just beginning to start in
Okay.
November.
Very cool.
So I thought that was pretty
That's super
neat.
cool. That'd be one to look out for.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Hopefully, I think when charities have the opportunity to share their stories, or he's making the movie, but the charity itself, the Wounded Warriors. Anytime we can shed light, you never know who's watching, who's
Yeah.
listening, and you find your passion and contribute.
Absolutely. And raise awareness for
Yes.
those people who have served and done so much for our country. Absolutely. It's very important. So there are a couple of days that I wasn't aware of that you were telling me about. Tell us about the cats.
Oh my gosh! So today, and of course, our show is not dated, but in the month of October, there is
When we recorded this.
When we recorded, I love that. When we recorded this on this day, it is National Dress Up Your Pet Day.
Dress Up Your Pet Day.
Dress Up Your Pet Day.
Okay.
So we know about Halloween, but
Right.
did we know about your national?
It's
dress
like the
up your pet?
precursor for Halloween dress up.
Exactly.
I guess, yeah.
And then on the 29th, I think it's the 29th, it's National Cat Day.
National Cat Day. Kitty Cat Day.
Kitty Cat Day.
Okay.
And in Pinellas County, there is a nonprofit called Cat Trap Fever, and it's a nonprofit that spades cats.
Huh.
Who knew,
Interesting.
right?
I have a really funny story about cats.
Oh, you have to
and
tell me.
kittens.
You have to tell me.
So an ex-girlfriend of mine, who I'm still friends with, she's a lovely person. We were talking or watched something on television, and they were talking about different kinds of dogs, and they showed Doberman pinchers, and then they showed a miniature Doberman pinscher, and she's like, "Oh, those are so cute," the little miniature Doberman pinscher, and she goes, "What about cats? Do they make miniature cats?" And I couldn't believe she said it. I looked at her and I go, "Yes, they're called kittens."
Oh my gosh, that is such a funny story.
I still remind her of that, and she turns red, and but whatever.
That is hilarious.
So there's another important kind of awareness this week or this month. Tell us about that one.
Yeah, so and you and I have talked about this, right? Awareness should be 12 months
All
out of
the
a
time,
year, but
yeah.
every month there are organizations that are highlighted. In October, I think a lot of people, when you think of October, you think of breast cancer awareness and you think of domestic violence awareness, but it's actually also bullying awareness
Bullying.
month. Yes. And I think that, in my opinion, once again, from a mother's standpoint, maybe from a father's standpoint too, we definitely, in this day and age, need to be very aware of what could be happening to the kids out
Yeah,
there.
in our schools.
Yes, in
because
our
kids
schools.
can be really mean.
And it's so easy now because you can do it behind
Social media,
yeah,
right?
you can just do
The
it,
cloak of anonymity, almost, right?
Right.
Yeah.
When I worked in traditional news, all the social media stuff was coming out, and I did a special series on bullying and in kids in school where a couple of parents lost their kids,
that's
they committed
horrible.
suicide.
That's horrible.
And so when I saw that, I thought, wow, that's hopefully our show can bring
Some awareness.
more awareness to that.
Absolutely.
And it's also Down Syndrome Awareness Month,
Okay.
which I also thought was very interesting.
That is
know?
interesting, yeah. And that's a very, it's just such a heartbreaking disease, because these children, and they grow up to be adults, and they're just the sweetest people.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they really are. And there are a lot of organizations out there that help them and, do great things for them as well.
And, we just as individuals can help, right? And I think the help comes from a warm smile.
Yeah, acceptance.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly, yes.
Well, Sarina, I am so excited that we're going to be doing this together. I really
too.
am. I'm just tickled, and I'm so glad you're here. And we're going to start working on, some more production stuff, and then get in a groove where we're going to do this a couple times a week, and then probably, hopefully, get to a point where we're doing it every single day, and we'll be on all the social media channels and everything. And your background, you're just going to be such a great asset. I'm really looking forward to it.
Gosh. Well, I mean, it's right back at you. Right back at you, Christopher Ingram.
Well, thank you.
It's an honor.
Well, Christopher Ingram with Sarina Fazan here with the soon-to-be Heartbeat of Tampa Bay, not the Pulse of Tampa Bay. We're going to work on the logo. And we'll be back soon.
Absolutely. See you next time.
Thanks
guys.
for tuning in.